Hi everyone, it's Jennifer here, and today I wanted to talk about how a lot of light workers have this issue of feeling unfair or unjust in their journey. That life has been extremely unfair to them and extremely unjust simply because it's been really, really difficult. And we're constantly asking ourselves and the people around us, actually more or less ourselves, that like, why do these things keep happening to us? Why is life so hard? Why do we have all these challenges? Why are we always being dealt this unfair hand? Or why are we always getting the short end of the stick? And I wanted to remind all of us that we are not getting the short end of a stick in vain. And oftentimes we are actually not getting the short end of the stick. We are getting the short end of the we think we are getting the short end of the stick because we've been programmed by society to think that certain things happening to us is bad. Or we've been judged to think that certain things, certain happenings are no good, they're bad. Like, oh, such a pity, right? Like, oftentimes I get people coming up to me and say, well, it's such a pity that you don't have a husband. Or it's such a pity that you ended up being a single mom. But it's like, it's not a pity. When you learn to see for yourself that your life circumstances, all the things that happen to you were actually happening for you, and none of it is a pity unless you believe that it was a pity, which it isn't. That is when you tap into your personal power. That is when you begin to blossom and when you begin to allow this inner wisdom to flow forth, all right? All the pain, all the struggles, all the obstacles that were insurmountable. That is your superpower. You overcame all of them. And there's no reason to dwell upon the past. I see a lot of people coming into my practice, constantly telling me that what they went through is bad, or what they went through is embarrassing, or it's shameful, or they have so much negativity towards the story of their life. But the power of who you are, your superpower lies in all of those stories, no matter how embarrassing, how much a failure, how much it didn't pan out the way that you thought it was supposed to pan out. That was exactly the way, that was the divine plan. And you're like, well, the divine can't do this to me. No, nobody is doing anything to you. This is all happening for you. All of this is training for the world that we're co-creating right now. If we didn't go through all the lessons, if we didn't go through all the obstacles, if we didn't become who we are today, it would be incredibly difficult to walk through the next few steps, the rest of our lives. All of this happened as a blessing. And we have to be extremely radical. This new world requires us to be radically compassionate, radically non-judgmental, and radically loving in the most unconditional way to all, because everything is one. We are unity. And it's going to challenge us over and over again. We have to see through the illusion. Once we drop the judgment, once we drop the expectations, once we stop asking why this is unfair, it's not. We begin to see through the illusions, and we have clarity, and we have wisdom to pair up with that clarity. And the world becomes a very different world. It could be mass chaos, but you still are living in the magic. You still are living in your empowerment. And more, our world is calling upon us to live in our magic, to live from this centered empowerment of who we are. I want to say we are taxed, but this is not taxing. We have been given the responsibility of co-creating, of bringing into reality a brand new world. And in order for us to build this brand new world, we have to learn to undo everything, to see through, not even undo, there's no undoing, to see through all the things that we thought were true in the past. So all the things that we thought were true, all the constraints, all the rules, all the ifs and buts, and this has to be this way, that has to be that way, we have to see through all of that illusion, because it is all an illusion. The only reality is the reality that you are co-creating. And all your stories up until this point is challenging you to co-create this new world, this new reality right now, right here. All right? And we can do this. We were made for this. And it's actually quite exciting despite all the, and I'm not saying this to say that I don't feel I don't have any down days. That's not true. I actually have a lot of down days. And it's been incredibly difficult sometimes to navigate this terrain. And that's when we have to have compassion for ourselves. Compassion when we falter. Compassion when we get a little lost. Compassion when we get a little confused, because we are still human. We have Christ consciousness, but we are not God yet. We are human. Maybe we are God, but we are human. Our physical form is still human. It does feel pain. Sometimes people come to me and they say, I don't understand why I feel so much pain. There's nothing wrong with feeling pain. There's nothing wrong with feeling depressed. There's nothing wrong with feeling sad. That is one thing we absolutely have to rewrite first. There is nothing wrong with all the bad things. That is part of the human experience. We did not come to this earth to perfect perfection. There's no purpose in perfecting perfection, all right? We came to this world to see the beauty in imperfection, to see the beauty in the imperfect nature of who we are as human, and to work through that. So it's okay to have a down day. It's okay to feel the pain. And when we understand that it's okay to have a down day, you come right up. When we understand that it's okay to feel pain, that pain begins to dissipate and flow through us and out instead of getting trapped back in our body. When we understand it's okay to fall, it's okay to be confused, that it's all part of the process, and you are perfect exactly where you are. You are enough, you are perfect, and everything is in divine timing. When we understand that, when we truly, truly understand that, no matter how difficult, how exhausting, how confusing the outside world gets, you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it, and everybody we touch, everybody we come across is going to make it because you get it, and you're able to see through the illusion. So challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to see through the illusion. Challenge yourself to be radically compassionate. Challenge yourself to be radically non-judgmental. That's when compassion, that's when unconditional love flows forth. And that's the embodying of the light. The embodying of the light. It doesn't mean we are this holy. No, we are human. We are here to be human. And the movement now is to be human, because when we realize that we are human, that's when we tap into our superpower. All of us have our own unique superpower, and it comes from being human. It doesn't come from being a superhero. And so I wish you all the very best, and I hope you begin to see that you are radically superpower human.